Hello, my name is Lorne Cheek, and I'm sitting here in Atlanta, Georgia. I've gotten out of bed this morning and haven't brushed my teeth, done anything to my hair. I did put some Visine in so I don't look like a pothead because I don't smoke pot. And I started doing some genealogy, and I decided to pursue how I'm related to the Queen of England. And I'm related to the Queen of England in several ways through several different lines, which is kind of ironic, when you consider that my family were kind of poor farmers in middle Georgia, but we're descended from a line that comes from the Cheek family on the Isle of Wight. And the Cheek family gradually intermarried several times over into several royal lines, and their descendants ended up being big players in Parliament throughout the generations. They were descendants of several kings of Europe and France and, different parts of the world, Jerusalem and Byzantine Empire of China, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so here I am, just this white looking guy, I work as a waiter. I'm from a family of 12. I have 9 brothers and 2 sisters. And I have gotten into the whole genealogy thing because I'm from a large family. I and my 3 younger brothers were raised in an orphanage called Bethesda Home for Boys in Savannah, Georgia. And when I became an adult and became closer to my family and actually built a relationship with my parents and my brothers and sisters and everything, I found out that we were related to this person in England, Sir John Cheek. And it started me on this fascinating journey of trying to find out my roots. And what I found out, just shocked the crap out of me because I came from such humble beginnings that I never would have in a million years expected that I could possibly come from anything other than, peasant farmers who happen to be smart and pretty damn good looking. Well, my hair's a mess today and I look like trash, but I do clean up well. Anyway, so I wanted to send this out, to the world to inspire you to do a little genealogy, and it's kind of fun. I'm going to pursue this whole line all the way back from Anne Cheek, who is a daughter of Sir Peter Cheek, who is my ancestor. And my ancestor in America is Anthony Cheek, who was one of his sons. So he would have been, I guess, Anne's brother, I think. I'll look it up. I'm fuzzy. But anyway, you can look these things up. Sir Peter Cheek of Pergo, Essex. Essex. Crap. Oh, you suck. Okay, so I was doing a little research today to see how I'm related through the Cheek family, not through all my other Plantagenet lines, to Prince William and Prince Charles, Lady Diana. And it's through this lady, Anne Cheek. This is, I hope you can see that. I hope it's focused. Anne Cheek married Robert Rich. He was the first Earl of Warwick. She was the daughter of, I want to say Sir Peter Cheek. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, she's a cousin of mine. Her father was also one of my grandfathers. So this is one way that I'm related to Prince William of England, and to Prince Charles, and also Lady Diana, and to Sarah Ferguson, and to a lot of other royal lines. But I was surprised to find that out. I knew I was related to them through multiple Plantagenet lines, through royalty in Scotland and England and France, and also through the Comnene, who are Byzantine emperors, and I found that on another page as well, because I have several Comnene ancestors. But anyway, there it is. Anne Cheek, Robert Rich. So going through Prince William's genealogy, I went back to Anne, and I saw who her ancestors were. And Anne Cheek married a Rich, right? And his ancestors were Essex Rich, right? And Essex Rich was the wife of Henry Cheek. Okay, so then I come down here. Oops, sorry, wandering around. I come down here, and you'll notice the name at the bottom, right next to Catherine Carey. It's Lettuce Knowles. Lettuce Knowles was the first cousin of Elizabeth I of England through her actually through her ancestors on her father's side, because Lettuce Knowles was actually very well off, and in her own right was like a duchess or something like that. I'll check it out and let you know in a couple of seconds. I'm getting a little rusty because it's like so many names to keep hold of. But anyway, yeah, so I'm descended from Lettuce Knowles, which would make me a close relative of Queen Elizabeth I of England through that particular branch of my family, which is kind of fascinating. So here it's showing her relationship to Henry VII and Henry VIII Tudor, because the family of Anne Boleyn actually were close cousins to them. So it shows Catherine Carey, who is Lettuce Knowles' mother, and then Thomas Boleyn, who was Catherine Carey's mother's father, and then Mary Boleyn. And then it goes back to the Howards, and then the Tilneys. So you can see, because of the Howard line, the Boleyn line, and the Tudor line, that she is actually related. That's how Lettuce Knowles was related to Queen Elizabeth I. I did not know that Lettuce Knowles was one of my actual ancestors, but what's funny is I have a friend who's descended from the Dudley family, who would be a descendant of Lettuce Knowles by her marriage to Robert Dudley, which, you know, created a great scandal and a kind of a rift between him and Queen Elizabeth I, because he was Queen Elizabeth's favorite, and Lettuce was like Queen Elizabeth's, you know, look-alike, and her first cousin, and she ended up marrying Robert Dudley, and it pissed, sorry, it angered Elizabeth I so much that she excommunicated Lettuce from ever coming to court again. And what's cool about this website is it will show you at the top, because this is the pedigree of the royal family. This is actually an official site. See, right here it says Dudley's third wife, Lettuce Knowles, and then it tells you it's the U.S. President's 11th great aunt, His Royal Highness Charles' 11th great grandmother, Prime Minister Cameron's 12th grandmother, Prime Minister Churchill's 10th grandmother, Lady Diana's 11th grandmother. So me and Diana, actually me and Prince William, would be related through several different venues, but this is just an example of a few of them. So here we have Anne Cheeke, who's the cousin of mine, like many, many generations back, but she was the daughter of one of my great-grandparents. Anyway, so this shows you right here in this genealogy that she is His Royal Highness Charles' 9th great-grandmother. Now, how he's Charles's great-grandmother, I don't know. I don't know if it's through Charles's father or Charles's mother, and that's what I'd like to find out, because I'd like to find out if Victoria was actually a descendant of the Cheeks as well. And I may have mentioned it or not already, but she is also, Anne Cheeke is the ancestor of Sarah Ferguson and Princess Diana. And here I'm just trying to zero in on the URL so that you can look it up yourself if you care to. So now what I'm doing to find out how she's related to Charles, I'm going through, see where it says child under there and husband partner, Daniel Finch. So Essex, Lady of Warwick, which was Anne's granddaughter, I guess. Or daughter. I lost track already. Anyway, her child is Mary, Lady of Nottingham and Winchilsea Finch. So I'm going to touch on that and then follow it back child to child till I get to Charles. And here's where we get to it. A couple of generations down is Elizabeth Boyle, who's a descendant of Anne Cheeke, marries William Cavendish, William Cavendish, and then her children are William, Dorothy, Augustus, right? So she is now, this woman is Charles's fifth great-grandmother. So then I'm going to go down through the Cavendish line, which is the line that married into the Spencer line. If you've ever seen the movie The Duchess, that had Keira Knightley in it, it's a great movie. The Duchess was actually a Cavendish, and she married a, let me see, her name was Georgina, and she married into the Spencer family. But I'm trying to think what her name was when she married the Spencer, because it was Georgia Cavendish Spencer. Yeah, Spencer. Anyway, she had a daughter named Eliza Courtney. Eliza Courtney was an illegitimate child with the Prime Minister at the time. And two of her daughters, one daughter is the grandmother of Diana, and the other is the, grandmother, great-grandmother, whatever, of Diana. The other one is the great-grandmother of Sarah Ferguson. So that's how the Cheek line's coming down through those two lines, and then I'm going to find Charles, and I'll get right back to you. So I punched on the wrong kid, but if you notice, Georgina Dorothy Lady Cavendish is His Royal Highness Charles' fifth great aunt, because William, Knight of the Garter Cavendish, is actually the guy in the movie that had the menage a trois with the other chick, and kept that up through their whole life. And Georgina ended up bringing the Cheek line into the Cavendish line through her ancestors. But anyway, there you have it. So we punch on the next daughter, who is Dorothy Lady Cavendish, and she is His Royal Highness Charles' fourth great-grandmother. Or like I like to say, my cousin Charles. Anyway, so there you have it. So now we know that she is his fourth great-grandmother. I'm going to follow it down through these kids and see which one ends up coming through which line. So I'm at William Augustus Lord Cavendish Bentinck. That's Charles's third great-grandfather. I'm going to follow him. Okay, so here we are. We're at his great-grandfather. Great-great-grandfather. And then we find that Elizabeth Angelina Marguerite, Lady Bowes-Lyon, is His Royal Highness's great-grandmother. Okay, so that would mean that the Cheeks were not necessarily ancestors of Queen Victoria, although it could be possible, but I don't think so. But they are definitely ancestors through the marriage of Charles's great-grandmother to his great-grandfather, which would be, let me think about it, it would be Charles, Elizabeth, George. George would be his great-grandfather, so it'd be King George of England. So Elizabeth Angelina Marguerite Bowes-Lyon, who was the grandmother. Oh, now I know who she is. The lady, that lived for a long, long time. She was so sweet, and she, you would see her. The Queen Mother would be Elizabeth Angelina Marguerite Lady Bowes-Lyon. Wait, no, I was wrong. It was his great-grandmother who... Okay, so let me look back. I got to scoot back on this because I'm wrong by 2 generations. So it's not the Queen Mother. It's actually George VI, who is Charles's grandfather's mother. And I can figure out who she was. So she is the mother of Elizabeth II, Alexandra Mary Windsor, Queen of England, who would be Charles's grandmother. So I guess she was the mother of Queen Mary? I have to look at this because she's got so many names. But would that be right? The date? Born in London in 1900, died in 2002? That's her. Yeah, that is her. Okay, so that's the Queen Mom right there. How cute. Lovely. So I'm related to him through the Queen Mom. She had a lot of spunk and great personality. I am not surprised she's a Cheek somewhere along the line. She's got some class about her. And she was fun. And then here we have the Queen. God save the Queen, I'm American, I can't help it, I don't know the words. God save the Queen. We love you, cousin. You're doing a great job, and I think the spook, about jumping out of the airplane with James Bond was freaking hilarious. I bet you're a blast in private. And here is Charles Philip Arthur George Windsor, Prince of Wales, and his child and wife, Diana Frances Lady Spencer, and William Arthur Philip Louis Windsor, who is Prince William, are both related to me through several different branches, but that's how they're related to me through my Cheek ancestry. And there you have it. No wonder why they got great hair and good charisma.